10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The road to WrestleMania begins here with the Royal Rumble, which takes place on Saturday. On PLE, there are currently 4 matches on the card, with 2 of them being the Royal Rumble matches. My name is Manlykefresh, and without further ado, let me run down this very detailed prediction video. So let's go! If any of you would like to be updated on any future videos I'm about to release, or just to follow me in general, you can follow me on X at www.x.com/manlykefresh. Let's kick off my prediction video with the WWE Tag Team Championship matches, with the former champions in Motor City Machine Guns taking on the current champions in DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. So this rematch is now taking place after the betrayal that Johnny Gargano did to his former mentors in the Motor City Machine Guns. Chris Sabin and Johnny Gargano have a great history, and so does Alex Shelley. I think this goes back to the indie scenes, or maybe even TNA. I wasn't really familiar with this connection that they all had. Tommaso Ciampa was obviously playing the big bad wolf heel, trying to turn everyone against the Motor City Machine Guns, and even turning on Johnny Gargano, allegedly, so we thought, until we actually discovered that Johnny Gargano was actually the mastermind with the whole operation. So don't be shocked if you see the Street Profits play a factor in this match after they were attacked by the tag team champions, and also Pretty Deadly, who seem to be the pawns of the DIY, make their way into this match. But I believe after it's all said and done, DIY will retain their tag team championship. So DIY to win and retain. And now it's time for me to cover the men's Royal Rumble match. As of the recording of this video, there are currently 15 confirmed superstars, and the superstars are John Cena, LA Knight, Jey Uso, Seth frickin' Rollins, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, Mr. 619 Rey Mysterio, he doesn't miss Carmelo Hayes, Penta El Zero, United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Logan Paul, Chad Gable, and Intercontinental Champion Bron Breakker. So with 15 more slots left, let me make a prediction on who I think may enter the Royal Rumble. So I have many predictions who I think are going to be in the Rumble. A lot of them are quite bold, but that's the beauty of the Royal Rumble. You get to play as a fantasy booker. So I feel Austin Theory will be in the match, as well as the New Days, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, I believe, will also be in the Royal Rumble match. Now, remember, these two have got a lot on their plate. They're quite sour. But then, you know when they say, don't you dare be sour. What if Big E actually makes his return in the Royal Rumble match? And if Big E's in the Royal Rumble match and these three are in the match together, that will make some great chemistry. I believe a lot of these entrants will be storyline based. So Jacob Fatu will be in the match, and I feel with Jacob Fatu being in the match, Solo Sikoa will return. So with Solo Sikoa also being in the match, maybe that might trigger Jimmy Uso, Solo's older brother, to also join the fray. Now, with all these guys in the match, and probably Jacob Fatu doing a beatdown on everyone, maybe the recently injured Braun Strowman, who got injured at Saturday night's main event by the madman Jacob Fatu, may also get triggered in the match. So, another prediction, The Miz. I feel The Miz will be in this match. With The Miz being in the match, you may also get Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross and The Miz, who had a lengthy rivalry with a group, which I'm now going to mention, could also trigger the initiation of someone to come in. Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy and the White Six, who recently got moved to SmackDown with The Miz, haven't been seen in a while, so Uncle Howdy could be in the match. Now, another person returning, Omos, could make his return. Now, with the Nigerian Giant being in the ring, that could also trigger the debut of the NXT champion in Obafemi, another Nigerian beast. But what about if that also triggers another NXT superstar in Trick Williams to join the fray? Now, with Trick Williams being in the match, you say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Right. With him being triggered, that could also bring in a former WWE World Champion in Dolph Ziggler, aka Nick Nemeth. There have been a few videos and suggestions that Mr. Mick Foley could come into the Royal Rumble, as he's been losing a lot of weight and he's been training again. Now, my next prediction is bold, but who wouldn't love to see the Beast Brock Lesnar return in the Royal Rumble? And finally, if this is actually going to happen, could The Rock also enter the Royal Rumble and show his true colours as the final boss, and not this face that appeared on Netflix on Raw? Now to make my prediction for the men's. So this boils down to 3 men. Main choice will be John Cena, as this is his final rodeo and I feel like they're going to give him one last match. CM Punk, because I feel like there is a program that CM Punk needs to do with Seth Rollins over the World Heavyweight Championship, and depending on what the narrative is for Roman Reigns could be the third person. So those 3 men I pick to be my final predictions for the Royal Rumble match. So we finally come to the final match between Cody and Kevin Owens for the Undisputed WWE Championship. Obviously now the official WWE Undisputed Championship is being hung up on the ceiling with the winged WWE Championship, which Kevin Owens stole at the December's Saturday night's main event. Kevin Owens is delusional in the fact that he believes he's the real WWE champion, and obviously it's now got to the point now where in order to settle this, both belts are going to be suspended above the ring, and the person that retains both championships is the undisputed WWE champion. Now this is going to be a very barbaric match. You know, there's been a lot of emotions involved in this match. But my prediction will be Cody Rhodes to retain his WWE Undisputed Championship. Could we see some external factors in this, in Randy Orton getting involved? Maybe so. If Randy Orton doesn't show up in the Royal Rumble, then he definitely will probably show up in this match. But my prediction is Cody Rhodes to retrieve his championship and get the win and retain. And it's now time to cover the Women's Royal Rumble match. As of this recording, there were 10 women confirmed for this match, and the women are former Women's Champion Nia Jax, Bayley, Tag Team Women's Champions in Naomi and Bianca Belair, returning Charlotte Flair, former World Women's Champion in Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, former women's champion in Io Sky, Ivy Nile, and the inaugural current women's intercontinental champion in Lyra Valkyria. So that leaves 20 spots left for the women's match. Let me now make my predictions on who I think or believe or hope will enter the women's Royal Rumble match this Saturday. Right, I have more than 15 women, no, more than 20 even women that I'm going to predict are going to be in the match. And as I mentioned in the men's one, I believe this is going to be all storyline based. And this is the beauty of being a fantasy booker. So let's start off with Zoe Stark. Then Maxine Dupree could also be in this match, which could also be triggered if, as Ivy Nile was in there, Ivy Nile could literally be the reason why Maxine Dupree comes into the Royal Rumble. Now, we have Piper Niven. Now, Piper Niven, obviously being the heavy of Chelsea Green, will enter the match. And obviously that might trigger off a rivalry that is currently going on with Mi Chin. Mi Chin, who is looking to become the United States Women's Champion. And her running buddy could also join in to help her even up the odds in BFAB. With BFAB being in there, these two could have a lengthy storyline that could continue over into a match further down the line. Now, Candice LeRae, the current Speed Women's Champion, could join the match, who literally could be there to help Nia Jax. And we could have our first possible return. Indy Hartwell. It might be temporary. I mean, it's a bold prediction. Indy Hartwell, who got released recently, could return. And we could also have a woman who rarely wrestles join the Royal Rumble in Scarlett. But then if Scarlett joins, just like with Karrion Kross in the men's one, that could trigger Wyatt Six's Nikki Cross to join the fray and literally cause all kinds of chaos in that match. Now, I don't really want her to be in the Rumble, but she's been a good participant as of late. Mrs. Calloway, Michelle McCool. I feel like Mrs. McCool could be in there. Little veteran in Natalia could also be in the match. Now, another legend who could return is Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus, who has also been in previous Royal Rumbles, could return, which would be also good. So that would be great. Now, moving down the line of Damage Control, we have Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai could be in the ring with Bayley and Io Sky. And then what about if Kairi Sane returns from an injury? Then, with Kairi Sane also returning, then that could also be you're not ready for the next one, Asuka. With all current members and Bayley being in the ring at the same time, that could make some interesting dynamic in the Royal Rumble match. Now, we saw her on next week Netflix on Raw, and we saw her on, or was it even SmackDown that we saw her on? Victoria, who currently signed a Legends contract, could come back. Then also, The Rock's cousin, the other cousin, Tamina, could also return. Tamina, who retired recently, could also return in the match, and that would be good to see her. Let's move down into NXT territory, where Lash Legend, the Beast, could come in there. She might, bulk it up with some big contestants like Nia Jax, and then Stephanie Valkyrie could also be in there. Now, if we're going down the NXT route, let's talk about Cora Jade. Cora Jade, who has been invested with the TNA talent. With her being in there, she might trigger off the person she's been poking as of late, the TNA Knockouts champion in Masha Slamovich. With Masha Slamovich also being there, that could also trigger the woman she beat to become TNA champion in Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace, who has recently just finished with TNA, could be making her WWE debut. But I don't think this will happen. What about if Tessa Blanchard was to join? Imagine Jordynne Grace and Tessa Blanchard and Chelsea Green in the match at the same time. Now, my next prediction. This woman didn't really get to make an impact when she was in WWE before. Karma Awesome Kong. This would be the era that Awesome Kong would thrive in, but I don't think it will happen. Now, Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill could return. And we will find out what Jade Cargill would have to say in that match. And finally, if we had the prodigy, Roxanne Perez, join the fray, what about if the original prodigy was to show up? The original prodigy as in Mrs. CM Punk, AJ Lee. if she was to join the fray, this will be one of the greatest female Royal Rumbles ever, with all these predictions that I've made, but let's see if they come true. So after making all those predicted entrances, my final prediction for who will win the Royal Rumble will be down to 3 women. Becky Lynch will probably be the most popular decision. Charlotte Flair, because they probably want Charlotte Flair to fight Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania, or Liv Morgan, as I feel like out of all the world champions that are currently in this match, she's the only one that hasn't really won or had a highlight in the Royal Rumble. So those 3, one of those 3 women to win the Royal Rumble match. With all my predictions now covered, stay tuned for my final thoughts. If Jade returns in the Rumble and meets Bianca and Naomi, will she be happy for them to be champions, or will she turn on them knowing that one of them attacked her? Could Randy Orton return in the WWE Championship ladder match? And if he does, could old habits die hard? Could he attack Cody, or could he attack Kevin, or even both? Will our current 4 world champions make it to WrestleMania? A part of me feels Gunther may drop his championship at the Elimination Chamber, but we'll soon see. Could Big E make his triumphant in-ring return at the Rumble? And if he does, could he come across Xavier and Kofi in the ring at the same time? Where is Kiana James? She has been cleared to return. Could she return in the Rumble match? We'll soon find out. Could The Rock's face turn be a ruse? Like, could he literally be planning to enter the Royal Rumble and eliminating Roman and exposing himself as the true leader of the bloodline? Before you guys leave, kindly do me the greatest honour by subscribing to my YouTube channel by clicking on subscribe, and by following me on my only social media platform of X at www.x.com/Manlykefresh, where you'll be updated with any future videos which are about to come out, whether it be my wrestling videos or my gaming videos or my top 20s. So until next time guys, see you at the next video, look after yourselves and take care. Bye bye.